we can literally watch with our own eyes hospitals and schools. They just bombed a kindergarten in Rafah, you know, and Khan Yunis and Rafah were the little pamphlets in the north told people to go down to avoid being bombed
Safety
and
zones.
to avoid being safety zones, quote unquote, but they're sniping people in safety zones. They're blocking humanitarian aid in all regards. I think there's a lot of us, but a lot of people are really scared to like alienate certain people or cause too much controversy. But I don't think it's controversial to care about human beings and human rights. I feel like that's gaslighting us into continuing the status quo. And I believe that celebrity culture in America has so much power to shift narrative. And I've seen it happen multiple times for very less serious causes. Obviously, there's a lot of repercussions and, you know, blacklisting and all those kinds of things that do happen. You're going to alienate people whose actions do not align with your message. But for me, that's not a bad thing. So not everyone feels that way. A lot more people would rather, you know, have as big of an audience as possible because that's the biggest clientele possible to make sure that, you know, your sales and your numbers are a certain level. Or I think most revealing is how indoctrinated we all are and how propaganda has done a number on us for the amount of years that it's been happening. I think it's also very revealing of the lack of critical thought, the lack of education, the lack of the presence of apathy, especially in American culture, because I feel like a lot of us are very used to distraction and just like not having to pay attention to anything besides ourselves. This like American exceptionalism. And what I feel is that we're not self-aware of the fact that it's our tax dollars and our labor that contribute to these events. And they wouldn't be happening if we were more mindful of the way we consumed and of the way we hold our politicians accountable and vote for politicians. And even like the way that we critically look at history and allow history to truly be a part of our conversation and not just, you know, a propagandized, whitewashed version of history, but like the true history of this country, the true history of how it was built, and how that affects our foreign policy to this day, where we feel like we are constantly allowed to wield the victim mentality and demonize other people's cultures or other people who don't look or think like us into a space where they're so dehumanized that we justify completely obliterating their people or their countries or their cities or the things that are of cultural value to them. And then we really tout that as some sort of American principle when it's really just terrorism and fascism and imperialism.